As you come in, please have a seat on the carpet, in your carpet spot. As you come in, have a seat on the carpet, please.
My brother.
Okay, Graham, I've already heard you reading our title. What's the title of our book?
Why does democracy matter?
Okay, so we're going to read a book today about why does democracy matter. Can anybody tell me what democracy is?
It's like laws.
Okay.
Kind of like laws, like what they make, like on certain years, like you can make it in 20 years. Every 20 years they change something.
Okay, so they change the laws every 20 years. Cole?
Voting.
Voting. Anybody else have an idea? Matt, have a seat, bud. Okay. So we're going to read Why Does Democracy Matter by Jessica Pegas. What is democracy? A government is a group of leaders who make laws and decisions for a country, province, state, or community. A community is a place where people live, work, and play. So if we were using our context clues and we didn't know what the word community was, how could we figure out what the word community means? One of our strategies for context clues.
Because it says a community is a place where people live, work, and play.
So we know a community is a place where people live, work, and play because it says it in the sentence, and that's one of our strategies, right? Democracy is a form of government. In a democracy, people vote to choose leaders. You guys talked about voting. They vote for leaders who stand for what they want and believe. In a democracy, the government must listen to the people. Rights and laws. In a democracy, the government protects the rights of citizens. Citizens have the right to be treated fairly, vote for their leaders, follow their faith, speak out and share ideas, and choose where to live. Governments make laws to keep people safe and to protect their rights. There are safety laws such as wearing seatbelts. There are free speech laws that allow everyone to speak out and share their ideas. People power. Government leaders make many decisions that affect communities. They decide what to spend money on, such as fixing roads and building schools. But how do leaders know that they are making the right choices? What happens if they make a choice the citizens do not like? What do you guys think happens if they make a choice that citizens do not like? What do you think could happen?
They start a war.
They could start a war.
They disagree and then they come up with it and they change it. They talk about it and then they change it. They come up in a group.
Okay, so you think they could work to change it?
They make a new democracy.
They make a new one.
They vote for which one they vote.
Okay. Government leaders must listen to the citizens. When a democratic government makes unpopular decisions, citizens vote for change. During an election, citizens can let the leaders know if they are unhappy by voting for new leaders. Government keeps us safe. In a democracy, government works to make communities great places to live. The police are part of the government. They protect citizens. They work to stop people from breaking laws. Government also has many people working to keep the environment clean and citizens healthy. Some workers visit farms to make sure the soil is safe for growing crops. Other workers test the water to make sure it is clean for drinking. 3 principles. Does anybody know what a principal is?
It takes care of the school.
We do have a principal here that takes care of the school, don't we? But there's another type of principal. So this is a homophone because there's 2 types. There's a principal that takes care of our school. There's another type of principal. Does anybody know what the other type of principal is?
That takes care of kind of everyone.
Well, that's a person, but this other type of principal isn't a person.
It's rules that you have to follow.
Okay, let's look and see if he's right. In a democracy, 3 principles are very important. Principles are big ideas about how to behave. Equality. This means that everybody is the same under the law, so that's the first principle. The second principle is fairness. This means that no person is treated better than another person. And the third principle is respect. This means you follow rules and laws to show you value the rights of others. More about equality. Look around your classroom. You will see different colors of skin, hair, and eyes. Some of your classmates are girls and some are boys. Some are tall and some are short. Some of your classmates might speak a different language at home. In a democracy, it is good to be different. Everyone is equal. That means no one is better than anyone else. No one can be left out. In a democracy, your right to be equal is protected by law. More about fairness. In a democracy, there are rules and laws to make sure everyone is treated fairly. For example, in your classroom, it may be a rule to raise your hand before you speak. Is that a rule?
Yes.
Yes. Because if everyone was just talking at the same time, could we hear what everyone was saying?
No.
This rule is fair because it gives everyone a chance to speak and be heard. You can put fairness first by making sure everyone gets a turn and no one is left out. So think about it. Joel baked chocolate chip cookies with his friends, Renee and Claire. After the cookies were baked, Joel handed out the cookies. He gave 4 cookies to Claire and 1 to Renee. Renee looked at her cookie. Then she looked at Claire's 4 cookies. Why did Renee think that what Joel did was unfair? Why do you think it was unfair? Madeline?
Because he gave one person more cookies than
Yeah, he gave one person 4 cookies and one person 1 cookie. Is that fair?
No.
What would be fair?
If they did
If they did 2 and 2 and then 1 was left to him.
No, if they did
No, that wouldn't be.
Well, and it doesn't say that he got any, so I don't know if he kept some for himself or not. It says that he gave 4 to Claire and 1 to Renee. So there's 5 cookies and 2 people.
They could split up the last one.
Allie?
Could put 2 and 2 and they could split up the last one.
So if he had his cookies and it was just with the girls, he could give each of them 2 cookies and then they could split the last one in half, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you were Renee, what would you do? If you got 1 cookie and Claire got 4, what would you do, Allie?
I would say that's not fair. We should split it 2 and 2.
So you would offer a solution.
I would say, can I please have some more? And I don't think that's fair because she got 4 and I only got 1.
Okay, so you would ask for more. So you could talk about it and you could explain your reasoning why you don't think that's fair and give a solution to what you think you could do to make it fair.
I would take what I get.
Okay, that's an option.
I wouldn't care because cookies are disgusting.
Okay, that's his opinion. More about respect. Respect means thinking about how your actions affect others. For example, you put litter in the trash can to keep your community clean for everyone to enjoy. In a democracy, everyone has the right to speak up and share their opinions. You might not always agree with someone's opinion, but it is important to show respect by listening. These citizens in the picture right here are discussing whether the town should build a new arena. So this says, think about it. Amina and Gil are good friends. One day, Amina and Gil were talking about the movies. Gil said he liked a movie that Amina did not like at all. Amina began to wonder if she could still be friends with Gil. She thought it could be hard to like someone who did not like the same things as she did. What would you say to Amina? So Amina is questioning whether or not she should still be friends with Gil just because he doesn't like the same movie she does. Let's see. I want to hear from some different people.
It really doesn't matter if one person likes this movie and another person likes this movie. You can still be friends.
Exactly. It doesn't matter, right? You guys can like different things and still be friends. Do you have something to add?
Yeah, it's okay to be different. You don't have to like the exact same thing as they do.
You're right, because being different is what makes you you, right? Democracy depends on you. You know now that democracy depends on the principles of equality, fairness, and respect. Democracy also depends on people speaking up and listening to others. You can demonstrate these 3 principles every day. Democracy depends on you. Once the day's lesson was over, Miss Carey turned to her class and said, "One day you will be able to vote in an election. But for now, how could you stand up for more equality, fairness, and respect in your life?" Think about that. How could you stand up for more equality, fairness, and respect in your life? Allie?
age doesn't matter.
Right. Anybody else have any ideas? Graham.
You could help your parents voting.
So what about like our situation with the cookies? When we were part of it, we offered a solution, we told them what we felt about it, and then we talked about it to get to a common place where we agreed. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to a page. So we talked about these 3 principles, and we talked about how a principle in this case is a big idea about how to behave. So what you guys are gonna do is I'm gonna hand you each a piece of plain paper. And you guys can use markers, crayons, colored pencils, whatever you have in your boxes in your desk. And you're going to show me what a principle is. And remember, we're using this type of principle, not like our principle at the school. So the first thing you guys are gonna do is you're gonna write the word principles. And I want you to write that however you want. You could write it in bubble letters, you could write it in block letters, you could write it with like squiggly lines. I want you to be creative and write it somewhere on your paper where we can see so we know that's what you're talking about. That's the word. Okay? And then also on your paper I want you to write a definition. What you think principles means. And then I want you to draw at least 2 pictures that describes what principles are. And I'm going to write some of this on the board when I put this up. I'm going to kind of draw an example on the board so you guys can see what it looks like. But I want you guys to take your time. You can use all your colors. Do it however you want to show me what this word means. And then when you're done, you're going to go ahead and come turn it in the basket. And then start free reading and snack. At the end, I will pick a few friends. If they would like to share theirs, they will come back to the carpet and they can share theirs. Okay? Who passes out papers? Great. If you 2 will come to the desk. Yes, I can. Okay. If you sit at table 1 or 2, you can go back to your table. Okay, go ahead and start passing out, boys. Make sure you put your name somewhere on your paper so that I can see it, please. If you sit at tables 4 or 5, go have a seat.
What we think principles means? Or does it tell us?
You're going to write your definition, what you think it means. Table 3, go back to your desk.
Finally.
Okay, I'm going to leave this page up so that you can see how they have principles defined. Okay, look up here please. I was just asked a really good question. It does not matter if your paper is horizontal or vertical. You do it how you want to. Allie and Cole, did you hear that? Look up here guys. It does not matter if you do your paper horizontal or vertical, whichever you would like, okay? This is your paper. If you need help, remember, I'm going to draw mine up here, and you can kind of look. I'm not going to put my definition up there, but I'm going to show you. I'm going to write principles. I'm choosing to put mine in the middle, but do you have to put it in the middle? No? That's just where I decided to put mine.